In this lesson you're going to learn a couple of tips about printing large amounts of data. Here we have a data list on this particular sheet. It's got quite a lot of rows of records. Now before we do anything, if I want to do a quick print preview of this, I can use a keyboard shortcut which is Control P. If we do Control P, this takes us into our print preview. So we can see exactly what we've got. Now the good thing about the print area now is everything is available to you down the side at just a single click. Now first of all, I can see that I've got 8 pages of information here. Now if I go through the pages, we can see that we get the pages, but when we get to page 5, and I'm clicking down the bottom here, the reason I've got so many pages to print is the fact that this column, the very last column, grade, couldn't quite fit onto the sheets. So we can cure that quite easily. If we have a look down the side here, at the bottom you have this no scaling. If you click on that and say, can you fit all the columns on one page? It will squeeze that one column that couldn't quite manage to fit on. So if we click on that, you'll see immediately we come down to 4 pages. So we've halved the number of pages that we're printing. And what it's done is it's squeezed this grade on there. Now if you're going to use this, within reason it will work. If you try and squeeze too many columns onto one page, it gets too small. So I think a safe number of columns is probably about 3, maybe maximum 4 columns you might be able to squeeze onto the page. So we've now got this squeezed on there. I also want to be able to dictate the number of records on each page. I've decided I want around, on average, about 20 records per page. For this we're going to come out of the print preview. You can either hit the escape key on the keyboard or you can hit the little arrow button to go back. Now I want to be able to put my own page breaks in. At the moment the program will put the page breaks in for me. But I've decided that I want to have maybe 20 records per page. What I would do is come down to this cell here, A21. Now there's a reason I've clicked in there, because when I put in my own manual page breaks for printing, it will always insert it above the row I'm on and to the left. The reason I'm clicked in the A column is because I'm on the edge of the sheet and I don't want any vertical page breaks, just horizontal page breaks going across. So by clicking here, I go into my page layout ribbon and you'll see there's a button called breaks. When we click on that, I'm going to choose insert page break. Now that puts a small faint line across the page to indicate where the page break is. I can then scroll down and click in A41 and do the same again, so I can insert a page break. 61, insert another page break. 81, and 101, and that's all of my records catered for. If we now do Control P to go back into our print view, you can now see it's printing just the 20 records on page 1, on page 2 and page 3. And finally, we have a bit of a problem here. If I was to print this out and hand somebody page 2, they're going to ask what these numbers are here in this column, or what are these dates for. Is that when they joined the company, when they left, when they retired? And what are these letters over here? The problem we have here on multiple page printing is that the titles only appear on page 1. Now I've decided I want to repeat this black row title here at the top of each of my pages. Now the way we do this is we come out of the print preview, and you'll see on the page layout ribbon there is this button called Print Titles. When you click on that Print Titles, it brings up the page setup dialog box, and if you look just here, there's these print title options called rows to repeat at top, columns to repeat at left. Now we want to repeat the rows, so if I click in here, now you can leave the box open. I'm going to scroll up to the top of the sheet, and you click on whichever row you want repeated. If I click on this row 3, it will repeat that at the top of each page. Once you've done that, I can click on the print preview button in here, and now you'll see that if I go to page 2 and page 3 and page 4, it repeats the title automatically.